going on, Fatso?
Just got done with a great workout, training with my boy, Ryan Spencer, and had a new person that's been joining in on some of the workouts, a man by the name of Andrew Zaragoza.
Hey.
He's been jumping in, and it's been awesome having you train with me, buddy. It's been fun.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I appreciate the, I kind of invited myself at first, but then you're like, no, do this, do that, and then have this much protein. It's just like,
yeah.
I feel like a CrossFitty workout. You kind of like you got to almost not. I don't want to say cheat your way through it, but you're like fuck. Okay, I just got to go from A to B, and whatever technique it takes to get there, I got to do it. And then with a powerlifting type of routine or whatever, it's like that's a lot of weight. Don't die.
Right.
With what we're doing right now, it's like we're focusing on like growing. And a byproduct of that is like, yeah, I am getting stronger.
Trying to grow them muscles.
Yeah, so I've been loving it.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a change of pace, and the workouts are a lot faster. And I wanted to address a bunch of stuff today, and I'm pretty fucking pissed off about a lot of things because I don't like disrespect. It really bothers me, and I it's annoying that people get away with it. I'm no tough guy. I'm not confrontational, but the way things used to be handled is a lot different than they're handled today. You used to get bitch slapped, when you disrespected somebody, and then you thought twice about ever doing it again, And I got people making inflammatory comments. I got people saying shit that's not true. I got people that have been fired from this company, that have been fired by me, that are saying they left because of certain reasons and this and that and stuff. And it's all bullshit. Anyone who's ever left this company, let me make something perfectly clear. Anyone that's ever left this company or has ever left this gym, it's for one reason. And it's because they can't hang. It's because they can't keep up with what we're doing. They no longer want to be involved with what we're doing because it's not convenient to them. And I'm sorry, but the way that it works is either you're in or you're in the way. And we've been saying that from day one. Nothing here has changed. I saw inflammatory comments on the YouTube channel when all we're trying to do is provide information. And I don't mind taking bullets. I really don't. It can actually fuel me at some times. And I don't mind someone saying, hey, you ain't got the build for bodybuilding. I actually enjoy that. That's not even disrespectful. That's a comment and it's an observation. And maybe maybe you're right. Maybe I don't have a build for bodybuilding. All that kind of stuff is fine. Hey, Smelly, the gap in your teeth looks dumb, or I don't like the way you wear your hat, or you got to shave your chest, or, all these things. You're too fat. You're getting too thin. I liked it better when you were fat. I liked it better when you were strong. Remember when you were strong? It was cool when you lifted all those weights, and now you're doing these bodies. All those things are just observations. I don't mind taking some bullets, but I don't like when people are disrespectful, especially to my friends. And Hanny Rambod is somebody that came in and with no strings attached, unless there's some sort of thing that I don't know about that he's setting me up for, has offered to help me. And I really appreciate his help. It's not like he's got all the time in the world. I mean, this guy helps some of the top bodybuilders in the world. He's worked with tremendous athletes over the years, and for him to even think that I'm even in a spot in my life to even step on a bodybuilding stage, that's exciting to me and it's thrilling to me. And I thought that a lot of people were gunning him down on YouTube without justification. And maybe I'm unaware of some other YouTube videos he did, or maybe he scorned some people in the past. I don't know. I haven't seen that from him. All I can go from is my own experiences with him, and they've been great. And he's helped me get in great shape. I mean, I would say already in this very short period of time, I think I've lost about 5 pounds of fat, which is huge. To be able to lose 5 pounds of fat and hold on to all the muscle, that's an amazing thing. And that wouldn't happen had I just been going on my normal plan and my normal diet and my normal lifting protocol. But we shared some information on YouTube. Hanny showed people, what he wanted me to do. And there's a lot of side stuff that you guys don't know when some of these things are going on. Like I had an injury to my chest, and so we couldn't really get after it. We couldn't really go all in on a bodybuilding workout. Otherwise, we would have went all in on a full-on bodybuilding workout. That would have included intensity along with doing some of the movements. But we instead we had to he had to just show me, okay, here's some exercises that I want you to use, and here's kind of the tempo that I want you to use them at, and here's how you're going to do them. And then people were jumping in and like, that's bro science, that's this and that's that. And it's like, what does that even mean? Bro science. People like Jay Cutler's just jacked and he's just on steroids. And same with Phil Heath. Well, of course they're on steroids. I mean, give me a break. Of course they're on steroids. Of course they eat all day. Of course it's their profession. I mean, there's all these things you can point to. We already know that genetically these guys are gifted. I mean, Phil Heath is called the gift.
Right.
And we met Phil Heath and we saw what he was about. And he's different, right?
Yeah.
But he also trained like an animal. Everybody that we've been in contact with has trained like a goddamn beast, to the point where it's like embarrassing for us, even for me. And I've been at a high level in powerlifting for a long time.
Yeah. I always just say, oh, they O'Hearned you. And because Mike O'Hearn will go nuts and make you, look like you've never even trained before.
Yeah. Mike O'Hearn's a nut job, right? Like a lot of these guys are going hard. And I think that at the very least, they deserve that amount of respect. And when Hanny's showing me how to contract my pecs and how to bodybuild, I think that a lot of you guys need to shut your fucking face because you don't know what you're talking about. And he does. He's been around it for a long time. He's a skilled trainer. He makes his living that way. I know he also has Evogen, which is a supplement company. He does very well with that company as well. He makes really high quality products and stuff. But in addition to that, he's really made his name through coaching people. And so it's just annoying. I understand YouTube's going to have garbage comments. I'm not a baby. I'm not a pussy. I understand that you guys are going to voice your opinions, which that's fine. But this bro science stuff has got to stop, because you guys think that you know science because Alan Aragon shared some shit or Omar Isuf shared some study or whatever. That's all just fucking studies. Studies aren't going to really show you. These guys are not using tons of research to get on a bodybuilding stage, and neither are the best powerlifters in the world. And that goes for a lot of the guys that are drug tested and non-drug tested. Of course, there's science behind it. Of course, there's force production, and there's there's a lot of different things that people are using to gain hypertrophy, to get stronger, to increase the frequency of their workouts. But really, it's empirical evidence of what has worked for other people in the past. Just work really hard and work harder every time you go to the gym, have a good positive attitude, and develop a ton of consistency. We just see that time and time again.
Yeah, I think when people say, oh, that's bro science, that's just, it's kind of it's the internet's way of saying, oh, there's a study for this. Like, when you have an argument, oh, well, studies show, but it's like, you're kind of just pulling it out of your ass. But for this level, it's just like a way of discrediting somebody's, theories or whatever.
And I gotta admit, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'll say, hey, this stat shows. Like I rattled one off yesterday that 70% of children in certain states in the United States will be obese by like 2030. Like, who the hell knows how that stat came to be?
Yeah.
It's weird. There's a lot of weird information out there, but what does that actually tell you? It just tells you that we're getting fatter. So it does give you some information.
Yeah. It would be cool if we can somehow make that a rule. If you're going to say a study says or statistics show, like, you have to actually cite where it came from.
Yeah, where the fuck did it come from?
Statistics show that we're going to be fatter, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, where'd you get that? YouTube comment?
Yeah, who said? Yeah. Well, it's a good rule of thumb because there was this thing on nuts the other day on like macadamia nuts or cashews, can't even remember now. Just saying the positive effects of eating nuts. And it was from like the California Nut Company. It was like, or not company, but association.
Yeah.
It's like they ran the study.
That makes sense.
Of course, they're going to make a study that shows. And that happens a lot. It happens a lot in all kinds of agriculture and farming. They're going to show you that eggs are good for your heart. There's tons and tons of situations like that. But, as I was mentioning too, a lot of these people that come on, and a lot of people will come on the YouTube channel and be like, I liked it better when it was powerlifting. It's still about powerlifting. There's still powerlifting videos Mark is squatting 725 for a double. If it didn't go up already, is going up in a day or two. There's a lot of powerlifting stuff. Smokey doing a double or triple with 525 and a deadlift weighing 180. There's a lot of stuff like that going up all the time. And maybe it's not the same gym as when we lifted in geared powerlifting and things like that, but people don't do that anymore.
Right.
The game has changed, and we have adapted. And that's what we do. If we're going to grow, we need to adapt to the things that are going on around us, and we need to constantly change. That's what Super Training Gym has been all about from day one. We have been videoing and documenting stuff since about 2006. So right about the time we started, we've been documenting stuff, and we've been illustrating what it is we've been doing. And that's all we were doing here, as I'm showing people like how I'm trying to get a pump. And then people were like, the pump is only for people on steroids. It's like, what the fuck?
Come on.
What a weird comment. The pump, I mean, it works for everybody. Obviously, things are going to work better. Steroids enhance everything you do. We know all that. We know all these things. They make you stronger. They make you bigger. We know a lot of these things. But anybody who knows anything about training knows that there's two major ways of trying to increase hypertrophy. One way is through just training heavy. That's one way to do it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as we already know. And the second way is to just get some time under tension, and to get some reps in there and have short rest intervals.
I was gonna say, Smokey said when they're talking about skinning a cat, they're talking about removing hair from certain area on a female.
Oh.
So that's what he said, that's what that's referring to.
Oh.
So I guess there is multiple ways to skin a cat.
And what study is he citing? His own
a documentary.
His own documentary,
Yeah.
perhaps. But anyway, and also kudos to those of you that just said, "Hey, Mark, good luck. Hope it works out for you." I appreciate the support. I appreciate the banter and appreciate the people that are fucking around too and making jokes, because that's all part of it too. And that's not really what I'm talking about. But I just, people come on there and they're like, "He's short, he's dumb, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Why would you listen to this guy? Mark, you're smarter than this guy. You know better than this guy." Maybe I do know better than this guy in certain things, but maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not a material expert when it comes to bodybuilding, and maybe he is, because he's been around it a long time. And yeah, of course, he got Jay Cutler later in his career. He has been with Phil Heath for a long time. I don't think Hanny would say that he made those guys. But when we talked to those guys, and we interviewed them, they kept bringing him up.
Yeah.
We weren't asking anything about him. They went out of their way to bring him up. And how many times, we haven't seen that many times before.
No.
With other people that we've gone to, and we're like, "Oh yeah, so-and-so works with this guy."
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to that guy, and the guy doesn't care, because the coach probably doesn't care that much, or it's not that involved.
Or they just don't want to give anyone else credit.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. But with Hanny, he's doing a great job with a lot of different people. And, fuck all you guys. They're talking a lot of trash. Eli
Lifts on the YouTube comments wants to know what's the biggest changes you've made since kind of pursuing this bodybuilding stuff. The biggest change, I would have to say, so I've already been adhering to a diet for a while, as you guys have been following along. You've been following the war on carbs and everything like that. So nutritionally, I already kind of had my shit together, but I haven't had my shit together in this fashion. Zero alcohol, zero cheats. There literally hasn't been anything that has been off the diet. One thing I did last night that's like not necessarily exactly part of the plan, but it was just to get my macronutrients up, was I had a protein shake with 1 scoop of Slingshot protein and a little bit of MCT oil, because I was short on my fats and my protein. And so that's how strict it is. Like I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of questionable. Like, should I even be doing this right now? And so the diet is really strict, but the major change is training twice a day and getting that cardio training in. So this morning I had to really try to talk myself out of
doing any cardio, and I still woke up early because I had to get my food in. Being consistent with the food, in bodybuilding is not about being spectacular or great. It's about being consistent. And when you're consistent over a long period of time, then you end up being great.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no tricks. There's no weird things going on. There's no weird adjustments to steroids or there's no clenbuterol. There's no tren. There's no T3 and T4 and all these weird things that you hear about. At least not on my level. At least that's not been my experience so far. If that does change, I'll make you guys aware of that as well. Just to be transparent, I have used T3 before. I have used clenbuterol before. I've used all those kinds of things, but that was many years ago, and I don't mess with a lot of that kind of stuff because I just don't like to mess with stuff that revs my metabolism up that much. It's a little too much, too involved for me. But the main thing has been the twice a day training and the cardio training. So going on that step mill, getting over to the gym. What motivates me is I get to the gym before the lights even get on,
Mm-hmm.
and before the guy gets all the lights on, and before he gets like the bathrooms unlocked and all that stuff. He pops the door open for me, and I'm in there, and I'm on the step mill at 4:57 before the gym's officially open. I'm the first guy in there.
Damn.
And it's fun. It's cool,
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was maybe 2 days ago. I went in there a little later. Maybe the workout started later with Spencer, or maybe I didn't work out with him on that day. And there was probably 30 people in there on the treadmill, and I was in there like an hour later. And I was like, I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that there's other motherfuckers in here
Mm-hmm.
getting it. I don't like that. And I am a person that believes you got your own shit to get, and that it kind of like in that Les Brown speech, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. But Les Brown, for those that don't know, is a motivational speaker, and if you never listen to him on YouTube, you have to. I mean, it's an absolute
Mm-hmm.
must. Anybody that's looking for some personal development and some motivation, you got to listen to Les Brown. He's the man, and we will have him on this podcast at some point because we just have to.
Oof.
But that guy's a ball of fire, and he basically says there's a lot of getting out there. There's a lot of good out there, and it has your name on it, and it's meant for you. Like the universe is set up that way. The world is set up that way. And for the most part, we're all born, and you hear this time and time again, you're like, blah, 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 fuck, I can't hear it again. We're all born, or we all end up with, however you want to look at it, we all end up with a skill set of some sort. Something special happens in our lives at some point, somewhere. There's turning points in people's lives. There's turning points that are very, very bad, and there's turning points that are very, very good. Sometimes those bad turning points turn into good turning points, and sometimes vice versa, right? We see that happen often. But the point is that there's a lot of good to be gotten, and you can get it if you put your work in for it. And you don't need to worry and be scared and be stalled and be paralyzed by your thoughts, by your weak-minded thoughts. I heard another quote the other day that I really like: scare away the weak. And that's not like you scare away people that don't bench 500. That's not what it's talking about. It's like scare away the weak-minded thoughts that are in your own body. Shake it out. Shake out those scared thoughts. You don't need them. They're not positive. They're not helping you. And whenever you think about those things, think about the opposite of that. What's the opposite of not doing cardio? The opposite of not doing cardio is waking up at 4 a.m. and getting to the gym before the lights are even on, right? And those are the kinds of things that can really build you. And so as I'm going through this journey, I'm just getting harder and harder and harder. Can I get a hey now? In my mindset. And I thought, to begin with, I had a pretty good mindset. But now it's like when somebody says, hey, let's get another rep, I'm doing 5 more reps rather than 1 more rep because I have that inside me now. It's getting burned into me. It's there's like positive talk going on within every single set that I do. And the cardiovascular training, and I can't wait to share this with other people and other coaches because I don't think people even know about this. But when you get on something like the Stairmaster, the step mill Stairmaster, not the one where you shuffle your feet back and forth. The one that actually has like a
treadmill of stairs.
treadmill of
Just
stairs on it.
endless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an endless treadmill of stairs. When you get on that bitch, it burns your legs right away. But it really does test your will, and it's kind of funny because it doesn't look that intimidating. You know, it's not the same as going to a track and doing, 10 400-meter sprints, right? I mean, it's not that daunting of a thing. It doesn't look that way. But man, that thing will kick your ass.
Yeah.
That thing can really build a lot of character. And what's happening to me, I'll get on there and I keep talking to myself about all these things that I deserve or earned, right? I'll get on there and I'm on there for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to stay on there for another 5 and I'm going to switch to the treadmill because yesterday I squatted. The day before I benched. I've been going at it really hard. I've been strict on my diet. I deserve it. I'm going to switch over to something different. This is killing me. Like I don't have anything left. And there I go, step by step by step by step. 5 minutes goes by. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand another 5. Another 5 minutes goes by. I'm going to stand another 5. And I'm listening to, a motivational video, or I'm listening to something that helps with personal development, or I'm listening to music. And what I'll do on there, I will close my eyes. I will close my eyes for 5 minutes at a time and just zone the fuck out, which is kind of hard because it's hard to keep track of your steps.
Yeah.
My whole goal on there is to see like beads of sweat dripping from my body, landing on all over this fucking step mill. So I have to clean it up every time whenever I get off this machine. That's the goal. That's what I'm obsessed with. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm doing right now. And the reason why I think that's important is because it will really build upon itself. When you keep talking yourself out of it, when you keep telling yourself, I don't have anything left, something else in your body will kick in and you'll go, fuck no, I got more left. So today when I was doing some deadlifts with the trap bar, we got like 425 on there, and I wanted to go for like a set of 10. I did a set of 12. The other day, when I was doing some squats, kind of the same thing happened. You're digging deep. I actually went so far on the squats that I missed a rep, and I haven't missed a rep on a squat. It was only 225 pounds, but I haven't missed a rep on a squat since it was 1,085. I haven't taken myself to that same limit in a long time, and even though it was 225, it was after I went heavy. It was short rest intervals, and it was higher reps. And I went until there was, they say go to failure. Like that was
it.
I failed.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it. I almost fucking died. And something I want to share is a quote that I heard, and I wrote it on the board here at the gym. I just think this is so powerful. It says that luck is the last dying wish for those that believe winning can still happen by accident. I'm going to read that again because that's fucking crazy if you think about it. Luck is the last dying wish for those who believe that winning can still happen by accident. There's a lot of people out there that when you win, when you have victory, or when you do something, they make every excuse in the book on why you did it. And it's like, man, you need to reflect inwardly and then not throw stones outwardly. You need to think about yourself more and not worry about what this guy is getting has nothing to do with you. Phil Heath winning his 9th Mr. Olympia contest, or whatever it is that's coming up for him. You can hope that he gets it or hope he doesn't get it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have shit to do with you. He's not taking away your spot. He's not taking away. You're not part of that. You're not involved in that. Think about yourself when you look at someone like that. When you look at Mike O'Hearn, and you think, oh my God, like what a great build, blah blah blah, whatever it is you're thinking. I don't like that guy. He's fake. There's no way he's clean. You're thinking all these negative thoughts. Why don't you think this way instead? Okay. All right, here we go. Mike O'Hearn wakes up at 4 a.m. He's meticulous every single day with his training and with his nutrition. I bet that I could do a better job working on myself. I may not be able to be Mike O'Hearn. I may not be able to be a professional lifter. I may not be able to devote that many hours because maybe I go to church and maybe I have a family and maybe I have a 9-to-5 job. But you don't say, oh, if I did that, I'd look the same. Don't make those conclusions. Or if I looked like that, if I had that life, it'd be so much easier. It's so much easier for him. It's not easier for him. It's not easier for somebody like me. It's fucking harder because we keep loading up our plate. Our plate has been getting more and more full. How different is your job since you started here, Andrew?
It's insane.
Yeah, like you almost laughed about it, like because you're like what the fuck,
Yeah.
And has your skill set gotten worse?
No.
It's gotten a million times better.
Yeah.
You're faster. You're more efficient.
I mean, yeah, it's safe to say that like on the photography side, because I've been putting so much emphasis on the podcast.
Yeah.
That, like, let's say I was progressing at a level like, 10 for a year. Now that I'm doing this, it's probably closer to a 5, just because I'm still progressing, but it's not as fast as I was.
Right.
Just because I got one place I can be at a time. But
yeah, because you're working on multiple things, so your mind can't like constantly think about photography.
Correct.
But in general, you have taken on a lot more.
Yeah.
Your skill set has risen. But then look at what's happening in the gym. You're taking on more in the gym.
Yeah.
So things like, you just bought a new car, which congratulations. It's awesome. Like that makes me feel amazing when I see employees. That's like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened here. And, fuck everybody else that's ever been with the company that's got negative shit to say, because there's a lot of people flourishing in this company. It's the people that get their shit done. Like I said earlier, you're either in or you're in the way. Chris Lewis, who used to work out here at Super Training Gym, fuck that guy. Fuck him and his whole family. I saw his wife make a derogatory post at me, and I saw him make a derogatory post at me because I posted a silly picture wearing a Donald Trump hat. Fuck all those people. People want to immediately find something to hate, and they want to latch onto it, and they want to grab onto it, and they want to try to drag you down. I took that picture by my pool. I was fucking around. And I am a Donald Trump supporter. I'm not going to hide behind that because... And then, another thing that pissed me off, too, is people like, you're not even political. You're not a political person. Why would you post that? Hey, I'm as political as the next guy. And I'll tell you what, I pay the government a lot more money than the average person does. I probably pay the government a lot more money than the average of 10 people combined. I'm as political as the next person. I vote every year. Now, one thing that I wish that I did, that I need to do, is I do wish that I got involved in local government. I do wish that I took the time to get involved in things that are happening locally, because I think that can make a big impact. That's been advised to me by my sister-in-law. That's been advised to me by Ryan Spencer. And that is something that I need to do. I need to suck it up, and I need to take time. But man, people are a bunch of fucking bitches. The second that they can, throw fire on top of your flames, they're going to. People don't give a fuck about each other. They really don't. They think they do, but they don't. If you saw a burning car on the side of the road with people standing by it, you probably wouldn't even fucking stop because you got somewhere else to go. Like, that's the society that we're in today. And I make this post, you're scrolling through, and you just want to get all pissy. The post wasn't even about the Donald Trump hat or anything like that. It was just, I was by my pool, I was oiled up, and so I've actually, and I'm not afraid to be totally transparent on everything. I don't even post on my own social media. I got rid of social media. It was costing me too much. And I threw it over to the person that does post it, and they posted it, and that's that, and it causes a stir. But Chris Lewis is somebody that used to train in this gym. He used to train at Super Training Gym. And he had no problem with me before when he trained at my free gym. But because I make a post like this, he's like, I'm going to buy Titan. Well, good. Fuck you. Go ahead. Go buy some fucking gear from Titan. You have no idea of their antics. You have no idea of the way they are. At least my life is out in front of people, and at least I share myself with other people. And at least I put out 3,000 videos on how to powerlift over the last 10 years. My free gym, my free seminars, I've given so much to powerlifting, and this is the motherfucking thanks I get for some of this shit. It's unbelievable how quickly some people forget. And this is not me being a fucking baby. This is me just being real. This frustrated me. This took time out of my fucking day. You know, my wife was really stressed about it. She's like, "Oh my God, what's going?" I don't really care that much because I just think, look, man, the bottom line is the way that this country works. When you go to vote, there's two people to vote for. I had a choice. You had a choice. I made my choice. I made my decision. And the person that got the majority votes, and I understand it's a little bit more complicated than just that, that person won. So I'm not alone. I'm not like the only guy that voted for him. And I do admire Donald Trump. I do stand behind Donald Trump. Is he racist? Is he sexist? Yeah, he probably is. Well, a lot of people are. You know, was Michael Jordan sexist or Kobe Bryant or right? I mean, it's like I don't know. They still get my vote. I still buy their jersey. I'm still watching old Jordan clips. Mike Tyson raped people. Mike Tyson was a convicted felon. I love Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson. I love watching O.J. Simpson run the football. Love it. If there's an old clip of O.J. Simpson on, I'm fucking watching it. Did he do horrific things? I'm sure he did, right? A lot of people do horrific things, and I wish that they didn't. But my point is I wore that motherfucking hat, but I ain't doing horrific shit. I'm a good person with a good, strong heart that has obviously my own interest at heart, always, just like anybody else. But I'll be honest with you on that. And I have a lot of other people's interests at heart as well. Just because I wear a hat or just because I make a certain vote doesn't make me a fucking prick.
But you know, when it comes to those athletes or even Trump, you're not celebrating the shitty things.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of whoever they are because they raped somebody or whatever,
Right.
allegedly murdered somebody.
Right.
You're not fans of them because of that.
No, I'm fans of, you know, I'm admiring some of the good things that
Yeah.
he did. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger a good person when it comes down to it? I'm sorry, but I doubt it, right? Like I don't know. I got a suspicion, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people that have really risen to the top back in the day have probably done some things that they wish they didn't do. And with people like Arnold, some of these things have come out, and with people like Arnold, sometimes a baby pops out of the situation, right? But anyway, I just wanted to address that because I find it interesting. The way that people want to hop on this train and they want to try to make it about like my products or something. Regardless of my post and regardless of whether I said something inflammatory, derogatory, or something that hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, and that wasn't even, I've had way more hurtful posts than that, of course. It doesn't change the fact that we make the best products in the world, and then I will not stop, and I will make the best products in the world day in and day out, and I'll continue to be innovative and creative and continue to deliver the best products that we can. That's what this company is about. Motherfuckers.
So what else gets you fired up?
Well, you know, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and it's like it's in conjunction with this a little bit, but it's a little offshoot of this, is being able to sift through stuff, you know, being able to you know, and by the way, also too, a lot of those comments, there wasn't any comments on there that were worth reading, you know. I didn't read a lot of them, but I read some of them. So I didn't read all of them, but I did sift through some of them, and you know, my wife kind of informed me of some of them that were on there, and there wasn't a lot that were like educated, like, hey, you know what, I'm really upset by this post, and here's why. I feel the timing is poor because of what's going on with the border, or however you want to say it, right? And you have a good reason on why I shouldn't have posted it. It's like those kinds of things are actually helpful. And then maybe I'll go, you know, maybe that's too much of a hot button thing. But a lot of this stuff wasn't very useful. But as you're sifting through the bullshit on social media, it can be really hard to figure out what's good and what's not. It's hard to find stuff. And I do think that lifting, exercise, sports, you and I were chatting before we hopped on here. as we'll see when we're going to do a photo shoot with Par Burnell down in Los Angeles, when you deal with somebody that's on a really high level for something like that, like he's a high level photographer, he's done a lot of shoots for Muscle and Fitness, he shot The Rock and Triple H and you name it, he shot all these different people. When you're dealing with people that are on a really high level, people that are on the next level, and these people know how to sift through bullshit, and they also don't get caught up in bullshit. They don't get stuck with it. People like that, he's not gonna. That guy wouldn't go on your Instagram and make a negative comment about a photo that you took.
Right.
Hey, dude, this would be way better if you did. You know what he would say on your Instagram? He'd say, "That's a fucking great shot. Congratulations. That's cool." Because he knows that kind of shit doesn't make any sense for him to tear you down.
Yeah.
It only slows him down. The only thing he might do is like, hey, man, that was really cool. Can't wait to see you. And then when he sees you, maybe he's got advice. Hey, like, you could have maybe done this a tiny bit different. It might have looked cooler. Or did you ever try this? And that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. What I usually tell, like, some of my friends in the past, like, they'll get caught up in, like, message boards and forums from, like, oh, this professional said this and da-da-da. I'm like, trust me, no actual professional photographer has enough time to jump into a message forum and start, leaving comments here and there trying to critique your work. Like, those are just assholes behind a computer. No matter what they say, no matter what they show, if they have time to get on a forum and talk shit, they're not a professional.
And I think that sometimes when people they'll see a collaboration between like myself and Mike O'Hearn, or they see these different fitness collaborations. Like, oh man, I'm so sick of these guys. They're all full of shit, man. They're all so positive and they're all like shaking each other hand and like all happy and shit. Well, of course they are, because there's not another way to be. Like, not going to serve them very well to just be negative amongst each other. They're recognizing each other as professionals. Now, when the other guy leaves, they might be like, oh man, I was expecting that guy to have a little bit more. I was expecting that guy to have a little more, a little bit more fire when he trained and things like that. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of respect that happens. And a lot of these guys, O'Hearn and these guys, you're going to see that they make positive comments on people's pages. Maybe they joke around, right? Maybe they'll make a comment that's kind of funny or lewd or whatever, just because that's the way that we do things, right? It's a little bit of locker room talk, but it's not going to be anything too inflammatory, So I just think that, people need to continue to focus in on the things that will make them better. And that's where your time should be spent. And I don't think you should be spending time in too many other spots than that.
I think it's solid.
I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think like scrolling through Instagram, it I want to say it does have its positive effects, but I think for the most part they're all negative at this point.
I think it's predominantly all negative. I mean, I've gotten rid of Facebook and IG. I have Twitter, so that way I'm not like so far out of the loop.
Yeah.
I can still see stuff, and I kind of like the Twitter updates and stuff. But it's been nice, and like for a day, for half a day, I've like lost my phone, like, because me, I can't keep track of anything. And I lose track of it, and I'm like, where? And I'm like, I don't really need it for anything, so who cares? And then a few hours go by, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need my phone.
Yeah, it's so silly because like my family and I, we love going camping, because like one of the main things we say is like, oh, it's so cool, we don't have any cell phone signal out here. It's like, well, we can still do that at home. We just choose not to.
Yeah, somebody could just go into one of the rooms and you just shut off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's done. And like no one's got shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, with my job, I do need, I need access to it, but on my free time, I'm trying to spend less and less looking at my phone. One, because it fucks up my eyes, but two, because I'd rather pay attention to the stuff around me.
I think it's really fucked up my eyes. I can't see for shit anymore.
I'm awful. Yesterday, I forgot my glasses. I had the worst headache. I couldn't see shit. It was bad.
All right, man. We're going to bring this one in because we got a meeting to go to, and we got some Top Golf to go to. That's just some of the shit that's been on my mind. The bodybuilding stuff's going really good. The show is August 25th. 5th, I believe, here in Sacramento. And I'm excited about it. It'll be interesting to see. I'm leaving for a month, going down to Malibu, and bringing some of the crew from Super Training with me. We're going to be filming podcasts down there with a lot of top people in the fitness industry and some people that are out of the fitness industry as well. But it's going to be a great experience. I'm really looking forward to doing that photo shoot as well.
I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited.
I think that's going to be awesome. And just being down on the beach and just kind of kicking it and just, getting some time with the family and getting to hang out with my brother. There's still a lot more to get done with the keto movie. We're still working on trying to figure all that out. It's a real bear, it's a real tough thing to tackle.
Power bear.
It's a power bear. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It'll be a real crazy thing. But I've set up my environment here to work really well with the diet and the training. I got 2 different gyms I train. I train here, and I train at a gym in Davis called Get Fit. And I've been bouncing back and forth between the 2, and I got everything all set here, and I'm dialed in. Well, now I'm moving, for a whole month, and I got to kind of reset. And when I think about LA and I think about travel, it's like, a lot of times I travel, not like I go nuts with my food, but you've been around me before. Maybe I'll eat a little bit more or go out to eat more, and maybe I'll have a few drinks.
I was going to say, successful day, have a drink.
Yeah, but there's no room for any of that. There's no room to even go out to eat at all. So I will be going out to eat with my kids and stuff like that, but I'll be like sipping on iced tea. I'll be eating before we go there and maybe after we go there or whatever, but I can't participate in the actual meal because there's not one healthy fucking thing.
What if it's bacon steak though?
Hey now. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is really good at Morton's.
Yeah. Oh no. It's like, Mark, what made you decide not to do the show anymore?
Oh yeah. A lot of people do that,
steak.
And that's been a change too, is the body weight has been moving down slower. I've been like 230-ish for the last several days, and but you just they say trust the process, and the body weight's supposed to go down slow because I'm not supposed to lose a bunch of muscle, so it is the way it be. We got any questions that popped up on there?
Yeah, someone had asked like if you had thought about getting coached by like someone like Stan Efferding.
Who? The Rhino?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the Rhino talked to me about helping me with some posing and stuff, and so that would be really cool. When this show is over, I don't have an exact plan yet. I've been putting my faith and trust into Hanny for now. And Stan has coached me for years. That's, I guess, what people don't really know. Stan coaches me. Stan helps me with my blood work. Stan has been a huge help for a long time. I've used the vertical diet kind of intermittently, but haven't fully committed to it for long periods of time. I'd like to commit to it more because I'd like to just really focus in on just health. And I'd also like to consume a little bit more fat, and that diet I'd probably be eating about double the amount of fat that I'm eating right now. But even when I talk to Stan about the vertical diet for bodybuilding, he goes, yeah, we put people at about 70 grams of fat a day, depending on their size. And that's where I'm at right now with mine. 350 in protein, 150 in carbs, 65 fat. I have egg whites once a day with oats. I have chicken breast about twice a day with some rice. I have salmon about once a day, and I have steak about once a day. And just kind of depending on where I'm at, carb-wise, those things are mixed and matched with vegetables and or rice.
Nice.
But it's very simple. There's nothing hard about it. It just is a pain in the ass because you got to do it. I got to eat 6 or 7 meals a day.
And then I think it's pronounced Ryan. It's spelled weird, but he just wanted to thank you for being an awesome inspiration to him. And then Kirsty, I think, has the best views about the Make America Great Again hat. She just said she doesn't support any whatever. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she doesn't support Trump, but she doesn't follow you for your political views.
Right.
She follows you because you're the people's coach.
Right.
And she said you're a good person. So I think that's
that's
the best way to put it.
And that's actually really good information, and maybe that's something I should keep in mind.
Yeah.
If I want to say anything politically, maybe it should be done differently. Maybe it shouldn't be done on my Instagram. Maybe it should only be occasionally here on the podcast or when voting comes around or what, like, so that's actually helpful feedback. Maybe that stays on my Twitter, or maybe that stays on maybe it's not for IG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that information is actually useful and you can actually do something with it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's all I got over here, buddy.
Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. We out.